Thoughtful Thursdays. The last episode of Thoughtful Thursdays was shot in office and it was re-entry into work. Today is back to being flexible and at home. And I think that's what I spoke about, the duality of how our life is going to be now going ahead. But what really sparked a thought in my mind was when I read this quote, without confidence, no business can really survive. And we should start having the confidence of venturing out. And while all of this is going in my mind, I'm thinking of the festival season. And I'm thinking of restaurants. I'm thinking of food. And that has been on my mind for quite some time because A, I love traveling, and A, I love food. And I've been watching the Netflix show, Somebody Feed Phil, and it's driving me bonkers. And I'm thinking about how is the food and the travel industry going to survive? And that's been on my mind because as a business leader, you always think what's going to happen? What's going to happen with the future of dining out? And I want to talk about the future of dining out because honestly, I am not a big fan of in-home dining, takeout, deliveries. And that has been a real big issue for me in the last 7 months. And I said, let me put my mind to it. And I know some developments have already happened. I know the ITCs of the world, the Dutch, and even Masala Library. You can order in your food. In fact, I think Masala Library also can send a chef over to your house and recreate the experience. But that doesn't really work for me. And I said that if I have to go out and venture out and become confident, then how would I like the out dining experience to be? And there were 4 or 5 things that passed my mind. The first thing for me is, because I stay in Bombay, is the whole space, the outdoorsiness, the open air, the ventilation. Maybe hotels or restaurants that have rooftops, that can be opened up. And I think that's where the government and the authority will make a big difference. And I think we should start thinking like that. I'm also thinking of malls which have open spaces and maybe there are certain shops that have closed down. Can we break those down? Can we make more eating places with tables laid out far away from each other? And I think this will add momentum to the food and the restaurant business. The second thought that passed my mind is these ghost kitchens that I've been reading about. And I know that works well for delivery. But I'm imagining that I'm sitting in this place and I'm with a group of people and we can just order from any kitchen and you get food of your choice. While earlier you went to this fancy place and if you said, I like the meal, I like that dish from that restaurant, can you give me? And they said, oh, but we'll try and we'll do our best. I think it will move past that. And that will be a great thing, which I see ghost kitchens really becoming the norm. The third thing that I really want to talk about is why will I pay premium for going out to eat? What will I pay for? Earlier it was for the food, it was for the chef, it was for all of that. But I don't think so. Right now I'm in the frame of mind to go and have that exotic food. But I think it will need something more. It will have to have some entertainment value. It might have to have a curated set of people that were invited. It could also mean that there was a special event that has been orchestrated just for the right amount of people. I can reserve for something. I will need to think about if I'm going out, why am I paying for premium? And I think restaurants, high-end restaurants or any restaurants will have to start thinking about this actively. And my last point is, when we went out earlier to a restaurant, it was for a celebration. It was to bring in a birthday or a wedding anniversary or groups of people just jamming. And today there is no jamming, right? You really don't want to rub shoulder to shoulder with a lot of people. So why will I be going out if I'm not going to be doing that? And I'm not even wanting people to touch my food. And that brings a point of shareable food. You can do a lot of shareable food when you're at home. But when you're going outside, how is that going to be? So, what is the menu going to look like? What is it going to be in terms of the small plates? Is it going to be one pot meals? How are people going to look at food, and how are chefs going to be presenting that food in the future? And I think this is worth thinking about. I have seen so many birthdays where chocolate brownie and ice cream, and then everybody duck into that, right? I don't see that happening. Can there be smaller bite-sized things, and each person is having it and relishing it? So, what is the future of outdoor dining going to look like? And when I say this, I don't have any answers. I'm just giving it my thought and leap of faith, and that's when I recall that Vandana Chamaria, who's the head of marketing at Google, who just gave a keynote speech for the MRSI APAC and Science Festival 2020, said the emotional legacy of this crisis and the long-term impact and implications is something that we all need to think about. And we need to think about how can we revive this economy. And many small businesses depend on us. And I want to leave you with this thought that the CEO of Marriott said, Sorensen said, that we need to start going back to work. Because when we were working, there were a lot of small eateries that relied on us. And today, many of those have shut down because that business has stopped. And that's why I was very gung-ho about when I made the episode of Thoughtful Thursdays of re-entering office. We need to venture out. We need to have the confidence. And I can see that just by our small acts, things around us will start reviving. We need to get out of the storm. We need to weather the storm. And I feel there is a silver. If you like what I say and you want to know more, reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss this.